Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be talking about Tampa Bay Buccaneers star running back Bucky Irving, and if he can build on his success in year number 2 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Because I know that Bucky Mania has been running wild for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers since the end of last season. Everybody loves Bucky Irving. It's completely understandable to see why. Last year, he played in all 17 games. Technically, only started 3, according to Pro Football Reference, but still had 1,122 rushing yards, 8 rushing touchdowns, 47 receptions, 392 yards. It was one of the best statistical seasons from a running back in Tampa Bay Buccaneers history. And that's notable, and that should be celebrated because that's awesome, right? But what should we expect from Bucky Irving in year number 2? I want to start off by saying this is I think that you should expect another good season from Bucky Irving, okay? And I want to explain why, okay? Because you look at the overall makeup of the Buccaneers offense. Let's just talk about player personnel firstly, okay? Tristan Wirfs is still in the building at left tackle. You brought back Ben Bredesen on a 3-year deal. Graham Barton is entering year number 2. He's only going to get better. Cody Mock is entering year number 3. He's only going to get better, in my opinion. Luke Gedeke is entering a contract year, but we all know how good he is as well. Cade Otton is still in that mix. Payne Durham is still in that mix. I'm talking about guys who can contribute in run blocking situations at this point. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Emeka Ibuka was brought in. He has been touted as a very solid run blocker as well. So at least in terms of complementary pieces around, of course, Baker Mayfield, a quarterback, we all know this, but at least in terms of complementary pieces around Bucky Irving, who can either A, help contribute to the run game going well, such as offensive linemen, or B, shift the focus of the defense maybe away from Bucky Irving to give him maybe better lanes of running and things along those lines in the cases of guys like Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Emeka Ibuka. The support is there, at least in terms of player personnel, for Bucky to have success. And you couple that with the fact that Josh Grizzard is your offensive coordinator now. He was promoted to that role. The Bucs have been touting that there's not going to be a scheme change, okay? The scheme is going to stay the same from Liam Cohen to Josh Grizzard. That's a big note to make as well, because I think a lot of people would agree that on top of just Bucky Irving's natural ability as a fantastic running back, scheme was a big factor in the run game's success last year as well, because yes, Bucky Irving did post a lot of phenomenal stats, right? And I'm not taking away from that, but we also saw Rachaad White do some really good work in there. We saw Sean Tucker do some really good work in there, guys that I've talked about in recent videos as well. So all things are pointing to Bucky being able to continue to have that success. Okay, the scheme is staying the same. Yes, Josh Grizzard is going to be a first-time play caller, and trust me, there's certainly some understandable hesitation, I believe, in regards to how is this young man going to do. Yes, it did work for a guy like Dave Canales. He ended up getting a head coaching job, for goodness sakes. But I think that you could argue that the one downside of Dave Canales's offensive scheme, right? There were positives, but one of the more negatives was that technically, statistically and whatnot, the Bucs still did not have a great run game. Now that changed whenever Liam Cohen came along. Of course, with Josh Grizzard, you want to see the running game more of Liam Cohen and not of Dave Canales. So I think that's going to be a big factor that maybe people won't consider in that as well. But, you know, if the scheme stays the same and the running scheme is still good, the player support pieces are around Bucky Irving for him to have success. We have all seen the capability and talent of Irving to know that he can have success. And I think it's completely reasonable to say this dude very likely could have another 1,000-yard rushing season, especially considering if they give him more rushing opportunities going forward. Again, you got to remember, there were times last year where Rachaad White was getting more carries than Bucky Irving in probably most games. Not most games, but in chunks of games. Look, Bucky Irving had 204 rushing attempts last year. Rachaad White had 144. It's not a big difference, right? Now, could you see maybe Bucky Irving climb up to that, like, 247 mark and Rachaad White drop down to like 100 attempts? Maybe. I mean, Sean Tucker also had 50 attempts last year as well. So it's going to be curious to see how much of a workload they give Bucky Irving going forward in that second season, because I've talked about it a lot as well. Rachaad White is still a good player. Sean Tucker is a good player. It's a good problem to have in that running back room. It's an embarrassment of riches, so to speak. So we'll see how all of that shakes out as well. Maybe schematically, that is another factor into it as well. Josh Grizzard is going to have a say in that. But I do believe that Bucky Irving will have success in year number 2. I honestly kind of expect a 1,000-yard season. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say, but ultimately we're just going to have to wait and see, but I am confident. What do you guys think about Bucky Irving? Let me know your thoughts and opinions about it down in the comments section below. I'd love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed, and as always, guys, I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream, but until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.